When you start your work, your neurons get fired. They can't walk solo, they always want to link up with other neurons. And this is how they make connections and they make stronger neural circuits. But this only happens when you're focusing on one task at one time. And this is what deep work is about. But what we have to remember, if you are distracted, that time your brain makes irrelevant circuits. These neurons are firing in different directions, making you unable to concentrate on your work, and then your work gets suffered. Because of the same reason, deep work philosophy is getting popular. In this video, I will present 3 ways to get succeed in deep work. One, lesser social commitments. Second is about avoiding irrelevant discussions. And third, self-determination. Recently, I just committed to my friend I will attend his marriage. The moment I made a decision to attend his marriage, I started having thoughts about his marriage. Luckily, he was my classmate and I started remembering the days we spent together. Also my school days. I started remembering all my classmates, the things which we've done and the days which we spent in school. And this was happening because I was watchful and I was doing my work and these memories were giving me pleasure, happiness because I made a good decision to attend his marriage. You see, the effect of the decision was on my mind. I was constantly thinking and remembering about the days which we spent and the thoughts were coming to my head about my friend and our classmates in our school days. What I want to tell you here, the social commitment I made was good. But sometimes we make social commitments, those not always make us feel happy. Because of peer pressure, because of avoiding to say no, we make social commitments and which make us feel bad and they occupy our mind. These are unresolved things and when you start your work, that time you remember these things. You may not be aware about it because a lot of your thinking is happening below the level of your consciousness, but it is still happening, it is bothering your work. Let's say you don't want to go to a trip and you just said yes because of the peer pressure. Just to avoid any conflict with your colleagues, you said yes to that trip. This became the unresolved thing which is bothering you while doing your work. You have to say yes to the genuine social commitments which you really want to attain, which you really want to do. One more interesting thing is about your brain is that it doesn't make a difference between an urgent work or not so urgent work. Your brain gives the same importance to your friend's WhatsApp message and your project's deadline. So it is our job to make this differentiation and commit to the work single-handedly by avoiding other commitments. Then you will clear your mind for deep work. Avoiding irrelevant discussions. If we are working as consultants and we are discussing and we are suggesting ministers that how they can craft new foreign policy, does our opinion matter? Opinion matters, then we are at the wrong place because we should work with our ministers to advising for making better foreign policy. Napoleon Hill said, opinions are very cheapest commodity on earth. They are easy to give, they add less value. Sometimes we end up in discussions which are not important, which are not relevant. Sometimes we argue with people, we gossip about others. But we don't understand that these things are disturbing us to do our work because at the time of working, we remember about those things. Deep work is only about clearing our mind and your mind gets cleared when you resolve your things. But these discussions, these arguments occupy your mind and they disturb you at the time of work, which is why it is important to avoid unnecessary arguments and discussions in order to do your deep work properly. And third point is about self-determination. The theory we have about determination is if your motivation is external, then you cannot continue a task for a longer time. And if your motivation is intrinsic, then you will continue a task for a longer time. For keep your motivation alive for a longer time, you have to access your intrinsic motivation. What I mean by that? Intrinsic means which is coming from inside of you. So whenever you are studying or doing your work, just because your boss is monitoring your work or your parents are monitoring your studies, if you have this thought in your mind and you are doing your studies or work because of these external reasons, then you will not keep your motivation alive for a longer time. And this theory says that the motivation has to be intrinsic. When you will do your work or complete your studies because of your dreams, your life, your aims, your goals, that time you will have intrinsic motivation and that will last longer time. By making this small declaration that this is my life, this is my work, this is about my dreams, you will have intrinsic motivation in your work life. And deep work is not a timid task. It cannot be done with a lukewarm heart. Deep work needs your commitment, it needs your resolve and determination. For that you have to have intrinsic motivation. So whenever you are doing your deep work, that time make a smallest declaration to yourself that this is about my work, this is about my life, and this is about my dreams. And with this simple shift in an approach will help you lead your deep work in a proper direction and you will concentrate on your work and you will get succeed in deep work. These 3 ways, putting properly in practice, will let you have your successful deep work sessions and they can change your work life dramatically. You will work more with less efforts, you will study more with less time because you are following deep work strategies. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe to this channel for becoming a leader in your life. Thank you very much.